Greetings, greetings. Welcome to another episode. It's day-oyabunmi. Thank you so much for joining me. Today on Messages from Ori, I'm going to channel messages from the collective consciousness on how to attract and manifest true love. Okay, but before we get started, if you're interested in your own personal tarot reading on this topic or any other topic, if you're interested in an Ifa reading, a Head-Orisa reading, Ifa-Orisa related ebooks, online trainings, if you're interested in my Patreon, please check out my website daydreamalston.com. You can find that information in the description box, okay? So this reading I'm doing in honor of Valentine's Day. If you celebrate, happy Valentine's Day, and if you don't worry about it. But I wanted to do a reading specifically on the topic of love, on how to attract and manifest true love. And when I speak of true love, I'm speaking of like long-term, healthy, joyous partnerships, okay? Like mature partnerships where two people are coming together with the best intentions and really trying their hardest to create a supportive and healthy union, okay? So that's what we'll be looking into today. This is not just for single people. You can also, if you're in a relationship, look for information in this about how you can, bring more health to your own relationship, more love, more joy, more peace to your own relationship if you're currently in relationship. Okay? Excellent. So I want to start with the I Ching. I am a student of the I Ching. It's an awesome ancient Chinese practice, which is just very accurate and gives some really good insight and things to mull over. So when I checked into the I Ching for this topic, what I got was this message about the need to move slowly when entering into relationships. Sometimes we get so excited when we meet someone that we're attracted to and interested in that we rush into things pretty quickly and end up forming a bond before we really truly know who people are, right? So this I Ching is encouraging us to slow that process down, not to rush into anything, and to be mindful of like strong attractions, because as we know, attraction is transient. Like today I could be attracted to someone, spend some time with them and then find out sometime later down the line that, I don't really like this person. I'm attracted to how they look physically, but they have an anger issue, or they're addicted to some drug. And these things make, them more and more unbecoming to us. But by then, typically we formed a bond and now we're trying to find a way to stay in the relationship or, making excuses to try to stay in the relationship. So this I Ching is like, no, if we slow down the process in the beginning, if we practice right behavior, right? Really focus on our character. Are we coming to this relationship with good character? Are we bringing like proper principles into forming this relationship, right? And establishing it with a strong foundation? Are we doing so patiently? And are we doing the inner reflection needed to be the best person we can be in these relationships? So these are all things that come up with this I Ching. It's about building solid foundations carefully and slowly. Avoid rushing and being honest with yourself and with others about what it is that you're looking for and who you are, right? So there's a truthfulness that needs to go into this. So it's like being aware of the tendency towards more shallow attractions and like acknowledging that if that's a problem that you have, right? Or if you have a problem with impulsivity where you rush in, like really identifying what has been the cause of relationship issues in the past. That's going to be really important, okay? So that's the I Ching. I want to also look into this beautiful rose quartz stone. One of the things I immediately get from this stone is the need to be more gentle. And I'm hearing practical in relationships. Like being more compassionate, not just with others, but with yourself. Being gentle, especially when it comes to how we deal with conflict. And being more practical in relationships. I think sometimes we have these really crazy expectations. See your relationship as a thing of beauty, which you can make more and more beautiful every day. Seeing the relationship as a canvas. And then bringing to it a beauty. Bringing beauty to the relationship. Again, I'm getting being honest. Being honest about who you are, what you're looking for. Bringing a simplicity to the relationship. Once again, that keeps bringing to mind expectations and how sometimes they're too high and too stringent. The need to kind of loosen certain expectations. Like if you have an expectation that someone is going to be respectful when you have conflict, right? And you guys are going to have respectful exchanges. That's a good standard or expectation to hold on to. If you have an expectation that, your partner needs to make $1 million a year, it's just kind of like you might want to check that. You can't stick with that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you might want to open it up so that your pool of candidates is enlarged. Some of you need to open your heart. Some of you are very closed off, have a lot of pain, and you need to open your heart in order to attract true love. If you don't open your heart, you will not get the love you seek. Ashe. Okay, let's get some messages from the Gentle Heart Tarot. What does the Gentle Heart Tarot have to say about how we attract or manifest true love? So we have two crystals cards here which represent the wands and then the Ace of Cups. So of course, when we see the Ace of Cups, we know that there is, again, I'm getting the same message I got from the stone, from the rose quartz. There's a need to open your heart. Some of you have a lot of pain from the past and you need to move beyond that. You need to let that pain go, work through whatever you've been through, work through that trauma in order to truly open up and be present in relationship. There's a need to set an intention that you want to be in a healthy partnership. Set the intention that you are ready for a long-term and healthy partnership. And this is not just in your mind and in your spirit, but also in your behaviors. It's time to behave in ways that show that you are ready for that partnership. So what does that look like? Are you loyal? Are you honest? Are you open? Are you able to deal with conflict in a healthy way? These are all practices and things that you need to know and do, right, when you're in relationship with someone. I'm hearing with the Knight of Crystals and the Page of Crystals that you need to get serious about this. Not only setting the intention, but it's like saying, okay, just like I made it a priority to, go to school and get my bachelor's degree, just like I made it a priority to pay off my student loans or buy a house, buy a new car, all of these different things that we do, right, as goals. You need to do the same thing when it comes to your love, your relationships, when it comes to manifesting or attracting. this, true love. There's a need to prioritize this and take it seriously, to go after it. And not in a way where we're being hasty and we're choosing too quickly, but in a way where it's like you're showing the universe that you are serious about this, right? So that may mean leaving people behind who have just, where you've just had a sexual relationship and it doesn't progress any further than that. It may mean, not going back to that person that you have been messing with for the past 5 years just because you're comfortable, although nothing is happening, right? It's producing no fruit. What else do we need to know about how we attract or manifest true love? What else do we need to know? So get clear about what it is that you are looking for in relationship, what it is that you want in relationship. There's a need to be very, very clear. I feel like some of you have like internal doubts, right? So it's like you're clear that you want a beautiful, loving, peaceful relationship, a long-term relationship, but inside you don't believe in love. You don't believe that it's safe to love. So it's like you have these conflicting beliefs and ideals, which makes it hard for the love to come to you. So there's a need to clear out whatever it is within you that is blocking you from moving forward. And you'll know what that is because it will come up for you in relationships. Do you lack trust? Is it just really hard and difficult for you to trust others, for you to trust, who you're dating? If you have a hard time trusting partners, then that's something you need to work on. If you have a difficult time with conflict, and anytime you get into conflict with your partner, you guys have like a really vicious back and forths, that's something that needs to be worked on, right? So these are some things that are coming up and what we need to pay attention to as we, attract or manifest true love. For some of you, this is going to mean a completely new start in life. Like I see a lot of us need to be renewed in our thinking, in our being, in our way before we can even come together with someone else. So I see for some of you, this is going to take some isolation, some self-reflection, like the I Ching said, some therapy, some self-compassion, an acknowledgement of what it is within us that is keeping us stuck in a particular cycle so that we can graduate and move to the next level. So some of you need to really prioritize your mental and emotional health and clear out the trauma that has been blocking you. There's a need for some of you to be vulnerable. Some of you are so cold because of what you've been through with the Queen of Swords here, but there's a need to open up and be vulnerable. Now, the good thing about the Queen of Swords is that, the Queen of Swords is going to help you to get clear about some things, right? And to develop some boundaries and to really hold firm to those boundaries. So that's really good, right? If you've been in abusive relationships and you're not ever going to go back to that, then you draw that line in the sand, right? With the Queen of Swords, and you develop those boundaries, which is excellent. But what you want to be mindful of is you don't want to block love in general because you're trying to block abusive love, okay? You want to be open to love, but still have your boundaries in place so that you will not go back into an abusive love situation. With the Hermit here, I'm getting the message again that some of you need to spend some time alone. I don't know if you've just come out of a pretty rough relationship, but because of what you've gone through, it's kind of skewed your vision of love and relationship, and so you need some time to heal, and that's what the Hermit is here for. There's some type of enlightenment that some of you need in order to enter into partnership, into a healthy union. And that's going to mean isolation, spending time alone, meditation, journaling, therapy, like a focus on self. Let's get 2 more cards. What else do we need to know about attracting, manifesting our true love? With the 9 of crystals, which represents the 9 of wands here, there is, for some of you, again, this need to heal, right? You've been through a lot, and you don't want to go through that again. So you have a lot of fear built up, so you have to work through that. The good thing is I do see you doing the work to kind of move away from this way of thinking, from this defensiveness, right? These walls that you've built up. With the 6 of swords, some of you are in a relationship currently where you need to move away from that relationship. It's just caused you so much pain. For some, I see physical abuse and the need to leave that behind. For some, it's emotional abuse and the need to leave it behind as well. And let's close with some cards from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck. Okay, what else do we need to know about attracting our true love? So with the Vanity card here, be careful of just going based on looks, based on what someone has, what they do. Be careful of just dating someone because they have money. Just being with someone, who has nice things or who looks really good, because we need to get down to the depth of the person, right? We want to avoid shallow connection and really go deeper into the person's character. Another way that we attract true love, the soulmate card here, talks about, with the red, we know this is referring to the root chakra. So you want to be careful that you're not entering a relationship just based on sexual fantasy and sexual attraction. You want to really, with this third eye here, tap into and tune into your intuition, right, in the higher realms. And that's how you want to connect to someone. You want to connect in a more high-minded way, going beyond just the physical and seeking the spiritual. That's why we call it a soulmate, right? So really connecting with your spiritual match. And also get that with the Destiny card. Some of you are destined to have really beautiful partnerships, but you have to move away from this very vain, shallow way of looking at it. And you too, when you're in partnership, you 2, 3, I don't care how many people are in your partnership, in your union, you all need to be on the same page spiritually. There's something about being equally yoked, right? Being equal in the partnership, coming to it with similar values, those values that are really important. Make sure you share those. And that's it. If you're interested in this reading for yourself, you can go to my website, choose the pre-recorded or live tarot reading, and put how to attract true love, okay, in the topic section. I also have a free ebook on my website called the Not So Patiently Waiting Handbook e-edition that is all about love and relationships. So you can check that out as well, daydreamaustin.com/store. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'll talk to you next time. Ashe.